Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I'm starting to feel like spring is coming. We've got a lot of rain today, but the temperature is so much nicer. It's just getting warmer. And, this is your reading for the week of March 8th through 14th. So is spring just around the corner? I'm so excited about it. I love summer so much, and I love it when the weather's warmer. So just happy that it's just a big smile on my face because of it, because I love the warmer weather. Anyway, let's get into this reading. Again, this will be your weekly reading for the week of March 8th through the 14th. And during that time, we have a few different moon energies. We've got the waning gibbous energy that we bring in from the last week. We're coming off that full moon, that big crazy full moon energy with the eclipse, and just wow. I mean, the world is very interesting, isn't it, right now? But as that moon starts to that light off that moon starts to fade, it's a really good time for self-reflection and rebirth, a good time for us to make positive changes, get rid of some bad habits and negative thinking. Just try to really buckle down on those projects that you started during the cycle, the new moon cycle. We then have the last quarter moon, and that comes in on the 11th and the 12th. And, that is a time for us to kind of reach our full potential when it comes to those things that we're working on. Once again, get rid of negativity. We then have the waning crescent, which is more stability and calm. It's just a nice calm week after that big full moon energy. But just be thoughtful and thinking about the ways, maybe new things that you want to start or changes that you want to make as that new moon approaches. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is the answers you need are coming. And that is actually the full moon in Gemini card. So, let's see what the tarot has to say for Gemini this week. As I'm shuffling, my fun weekly reminder is that while we are in this nice calm moon energy and this very self-reflective energy, is that you try to take some time to get out in nature this week. So, I know here we've got a lot of rain in the forecast, but I think we do have some warmer days. So, try to catch a little swath of warmer weather. If you live in a cold place, if you're in a warmer environment, or if you're by the ocean, we're all very jealous of you that you can enjoy that weather while the rest of us are freezing and waiting for spring to arrive. But getting out near water, or just find a nice park or somewhere that has a beautiful view. But, use that time to connect with nature and go ahead and do some of that self-reflection that you need to do. Where are you? Where are you going? What do you need to work on? So we can start to get ready for that new moon as it approaches. So, all right, let's get right into this reading. Gemini, March 8th through the 14th. The answers you need are coming. And your present energy right now, Gemini, is something work related here with the Eight of Pentacles. So you're hard at work, you're buckled down. It looks like you've got, sometimes this can be about work, with this eight, but it can also just be that you're focused in on something that you really just enjoy doing. It's something that kind of the whole world melts away as you're just focused in and working on it. I kind of see this as being in the zone card, so, whatever that is for you, it looks like, you're hard at it. Either way, whichever way that works out for you there. Your current situation is the death card. So it might be some sort of ending or wrapping up of something when it comes to work. It could be something that, there's some change or some kind of big thing that's coming up, or it could be, maybe the ending of a way that you normally spend your time, and now you've got this ending that comes through and kind of changes your focus. Maybe changes your focus on how you do spend that kind of, that time to yourself, really letting the rest of the world melt around you. So what ending is coming up on you that kind of encourages that, right? Within, anytime you have an ending, especially a big ending like that, it just opens up a space for a new beginning. At the root of your situation this week is the Five of Swords here. So, this could be some sort of conflict or something, that comes through. This is sometimes winning through deceit or underhanded tactics, but it's also, it could just be conflict. Maybe there's words that have been exchanged either by you or towards you from someone, that are maybe hurt feelings and something. So, and it could be just an end of maybe maybe you've had some conflict and it's just the end of that conflict coming through. So you can kind of get back to work and focus on what you like to work on. In your recent past here, Gemini, is the Temperance card. So you've come into this entire thing being very nice and balanced. The Temperance card is about, that kind of balance. She's kind of the angel on our shoulder when the devil might be on the other one. So you've come into this with a good energy, but looks like there's some kind of conflict and some sort of ending. And again, it's just going to kind of cause you to refocus. I don't think that it's yeah, I just feel like that's what's just opening up space so that you can refocus on something. So, and again, your overall message was the answers you need are coming. So if you had some kind of questions about something, or is this going to be a definite ending? It looks like it may be. What's on your mind this week is a little bit of anxiety about it. So, whatever this ending is, you might be a little bit troubled by it. So keep that in mind and just try to keep yourself focused on what it is, and maybe just taking a look at letting something go. If you have to let something go, it'll kind of ease the sleepless nights a little bit. Sometimes we just anxiety about things that are, especially if they're up in the air and we're not sure, when things are ending, how things will end, if there's conflict, all these little things that are just snipping at you. So make sure you're doing those self-care things to just make sure you're resting well, and getting your own just rest so that you're not up thinking about things every night of the week. What is just ahead of you this week is the King of Swords. So you will attack this whole situation and be very logical about it. So this might be some feeling things that you're going through at first, but then all of a sudden here comes, this is like our Mr. Spock. You're just going to take those logical steps, bam, 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 take care of it, be done with it, deal with it. And I think that's just how you're going to manage whatever this ending is for you. In your advice position here is the Lover's card. So, rely on your partner when it comes to things and changes and things that are coming up for you. Definitely turn to your partner and share with them what you're going through, how you're feeling. If there's some sort of just feelings that you're having, that's your person to go to. It's your go-to person to bounce things off of, to make sure they might want to take some of that anxiety off of you, and just conversation with them. So the advice is to really look to your partner for, just go ahead and lean on them and let them be there for you so that you can, express these things that you're going through, talk about this conflict, talk about this ending, how you want to refocus things, and talk about this anxiety, and just let them be there to help you with it. What is beyond your control this week is a little bit of grief. So, whatever this ending is, it might just be something that's really sad and it's bringing up some kind of sadness for you. Again, rely on your partner. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you get through these tougher moments in life, whatever this ending. I mean, this could be like an actual death. It isn't always, indicative in a tarot reading, but of course it can be. It could just be that, maybe there's a friend or family member or something, and it's just it's stressful, and there's change and there's conflict about it, and it's very hard to just take that logical stance that you might normally be about. So go ahead and let yourself feel those feelings. Again, rely on your partner to be there for you. You know. All right. What is your secret desire? What are you trying to avoid? Of course, you're trying to avoid some heartache and heartbreak when it comes to this. So I'm so sorry that you're going through this, whatever this is for you, Gemini. But the answers you need are coming. Again, a lot of times it's very hard in the muck of grief or the sadness or some kind of big change that you're going through to really see, the positive outcomes sometimes that can come from things like this. I'm gonna see it like a tower moment, that these things are put in front of us so that we can learn through them. And sometimes you look back and you're like, oh, well, it's a good thing this happened because I made this change and that change, and my life is better now because of it. So, even though you're kind of in the throes of it right now, just try to keep that little glimmer of hope and positivity in your mind, that at some point you might turn around and just be thankful that you've gone through these things that you're going through. And your outcome right now is the Tower. So yeah, this is a big disruption for you, Gemini. I'm not even surprised to see that Tower, because that's exactly, that's a disruption. There's just something, there's an ending, a disruption, something coming about. You've got grief, but I feel like, your one shining hope here is that you do have a partner that is there for you. So make sure you definitely, rely and lean on that partner. What is hidden from you this week is a new perspective. Yeah, that might not come till next week. It looks like you're just in the mix of it right now. In the feelings, I'm not seeing a lot of, I'm seeing more swords than I am any other. We've got this pentacle card, but again, I said that can be work related, but it also can be just about, what your focus is. Are you just focusing so hard on that moment, on this thing that's going on right now, that and it's causing you to have to do things that you have to focus on. But there's not one cup in here in this reading, and I'm not seeing any wands either. So this is all very mental for you. It's very much in your head, but or we do have this cup over here, and emotional, but it's very much in your head. I almost get this feeling, especially with this King of Swords here, that you might be a very stoic person, and it's maybe not even easy for you to show emotions and things. So, this grief card, you're even hiding your face there. So just don't be afraid to express how you're really feeling, when it comes to this too, again, even if it's just your partner. But if you have friends too that you can rely on, just make sure that you are really expressing how you feel, and that even though that can be difficult for you. Let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. A final message for Gemini as they go through this tough week. Tough week for Gemini. Really feeling for you. Be creative. So, I'm going to go back to this being in the moment, and maybe that is for you how you do manage and deal with things, um, is through creativity. That when the going gets tough, you have a creative outlet that kind of helps you manage things. It might help you manage grief and heartache and stress and all of those things. So be creative. If that's your outlet, definitely do that this week just to kind of alleviate some anxiety. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Gemini this week as I have a tough week. Let's keep going. Self-care for Gemini. Almost pulled that card and it just didn't feel like it was there yet. Let's keep shuffling. Gemini, March 8th through the 14th. There, that card. Okay. Card that comes up for you is the card called Peace. Just because some people are fueled by drama doesn't mean you have to attend the performance. Make your life a drama-free zone. So maybe, maybe this does involve some drama. Maybe this just, there's some grief, something that's coming up here from the past. Could be, it is a disruption. There's some drama going on. Anyway, if you need to escape from it, be creative, lean into your partner. I think that's the way that you need to do it. The answers you need are coming, and time heals all wounds. So, as time goes on, again, you might look back on this and say, well, it's a good thing that happened because now I have this perspective. I'm able to have this new perspective. And maybe this hangman doesn't show up for you until next week or the week after's reading, where you can say, oh, okay, I've gained, it's hard to gain that new perspective when you're in the thick of it. So Gemini, good luck with all of this. Looks like kind of a tough week for you guys. Let me know in the comments, what sort of disruption did you have? Was it an actual death around you or some sort of big ending for you? And how are you managing that? Maybe you different Geminis, it's different things I'm sure that are happening for all of you. Tarot is a template. And so templates over, it's the energy, but it templates over many different things that might be going on. So maybe you Geminis want to compare notes in the comments down there. Also, if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. And if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe, I really do appreciate that. Even though you're having a tough week, I hate to even ask sometimes, but that is usually how I just wrap up these videos. So Gemini, thank you so much. Big internet hugs to you, whatever it's going through. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a rough week, but hopefully next week, again, you have this new perspective and you start to kind of, pull yourself up a little bit more, and we can have a more positive week next week. So good luck to you, Gemini. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.